Nano Rush. My game is called Nano Rush. Game design outline. The theme of the game is futuristic sci-fi. The genres are platform, action, adventure, side-scroller, combined with the shoot 'em up element in it. And the design challenges which I should keep in mind when wanting to design the game is making the game a one-button interface, as it is catered towards a mobile platform. It should also provide an emotional experience for the player and player replayability within the game. The game's backstory. I took inspiration from the Greg Bear Blood Music, which refers to nanotechnology. The story features genetically engineered blood cells that learn to manipulate matter on the atomic scale. So the character in the game develops like an exosuit to protect his fragile body as it is deteriorating. So the genetically engineered blood cells have been infected with a virus that makes them go rogue, and they spread into the outside world. So everyone on the planet starts mutating, so it's up to the character to kind of find a cure and maintain balance. The look and feel of the game. The game player will view the game in a 2D platform layout with a 3D perspective, similar to Duke Nukem 2D and Mirror's Edge. But the overall design of the game will be stylized, similar to games such as Outland and PID. Here are the references, as you can see. Character design. The character is cocooned within the exosuit, and here are some character turnarounds. The character has different power-ups, such as the red would show that the character is in idle mode, and then the color will change to blue when the character powers up for specific attacks. So the colors would vary depending on the character power up that they've selected. Enemy design. For the enemies, I've took reference from the Generator X cartoon, which ties in with the game in a way. So the enemies also have some attacks which would stun the player, and they would be like long range and short attacks, as the player has to like maneuver around and kind of fight back. The gameplay. The player would have to navigate through a series of platform levels while fighting enemies, and they'll also have to solve puzzles while also leveling up. I've took reference from Mega Man and Broforce, as in like the game flow and how the player progresses throughout the game. The objectives would be the player would have to collect antidotes, which would allow him to upgrade, and they'd also have to solve puzzles, overcome obstacles, and fight enemies. The level design. This is a rough design of one level. There's like a skeletal structure of it, and I've took reference from Little Big Planet as to how the player would view the game within the screen. So the player would only see like a small portion of the entire level as they continue to progress through the game. Game mechanics. The player can switch modes to battle different enemies, as the suit would also have to change color depending on the upgrades. So these upgrades will also be timed. In some parts of the game, the player would encounter bullet hell, where they'd encounter hordes of enemies, and they'd have to like fight them, and yeah. There'll also be player overloaded with some of enemies, as I've said. Also brawling. The player would have multiple attack possibilities depending on the weapon of choice. So similar to took reference from the game Contra, how you'd have like different pickups and the weapon would change automatically to suit the specific weapon attack. And yeah, that's it for my game design presentation. Thank you.